There is a very simple technique that will increase your income by 5%, 10%, 15%, or even 20% or more pretty much instantly. And it's not that complicated, and I am shocked as to why more men don't do this. And that is to just move to another city or state or province where you are taxed less. A strong majority of you watching this video could move half an hour away, hour and a half away. I'm not talking about moving to the other side of the planet or moving 10 hours away or moving to the other side of the country. An hour away. You can move an hour away and immediately have an increase of 5 to 20% of your income pretty much instantly, pretty much like that, without any major hassle, just by moving. I did this myself. So back in, 2011 or so, I lived in the state of Oregon. Now, Oregon, if you didn't know, is one of the highest tax states of the 50 states in the United States. I believe it's number 6. If you rank them all, it's very highly taxed. It sucks. I was there for years. And right across the river, I'm in Portland, Oregon, or I was. Portland, Oregon, there's the Columbia River, and then right across the river is Washington State, which is Vancouver, Washington, okay? It's literally 20 minutes north. That's it. Washington State has no state income tax. None. Oregon income tax back then was around, I believe, 10 or 11%. I think it's more now. I think it's 12%. Flat income tax on all your income in addition to all the other fucking taxes you pay for no reason, so the United States can bomb a bunch of people who've never attacked us and bail out billionaire bankers. So that's where the money was going, and I got sick of it. So finally I moved about 25 minutes north into Washington State, and instantly my income went up by 14%. 14% increase on my income, not only because I was not paying a state income tax anymore, but when you pay a state income tax or a province income tax for you guys outside the United States, if they require you to develop another tax return in addition to your federal tax return, then every time you go to your accountant once a year to do your fucking taxes, you have to pay that person to prepare 2 returns instead of 1 return. That's an extra several $100s for a lot of people. You don't have to do that if there's no income tax. So as soon as I moved to Washington, the state income tax I was paying vanished, and whenever I had to do my taxes, I only had to pay my accountant to do 1 tax return, a federal tax return, and that's it. I didn't have to do a federal tax return and then a state tax return. Matter of fact, I was surprised when I first moved up to Washington. My accountant did my taxes up there, and I said, there's only 1 return. Where's my other return? Where's my Washington state return? And she said, we don't have an income tax there. There is no state return. I was like, what? It's great. Now, there is a Washington tax. If you are self-employed, and I am, there's what they call a B&O tax, which is like an excise tax. It's like 1%, and there's no tax return. You just go into a website, you plug in 3 numbers, you press a button, you pay it with your credit card. It's a few $100, and you're done. That's all the taxes you pay. Amazing. 14%. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but it is. Imagine if you have a job going into work tomorrow and your boss says, hey, you got a 14% raise. We decided to give you a 14% raise. You would be happy. If you have your own business and your sales instantly, your consistent sales instantly went up by 14% tomorrow, you'd be fucking happy without you having to do anything else. You don't have to do anything else, just move. Especially if you're self-employed. Double especially if you're Alpha 2.0 and you've got location independent income. So now you can move. I don't get why guys don't do this. What the fuck? Now here's the excuse. Now the typical excuse is, but I can't move, which is a bullshit excuse. I've addressed that on my blogs many times. That is never an accurate excuse. Yes, you can move. I didn't say it to move tomorrow. I didn't say it to move next month. If you have something you got to get done before you move, then fine. Set a goal, make a plan, execute the plan. Maybe you move in a year and a half. Maybe use in 12 months or 2 years or what have you. Put it in the plan and get the fuck out of there. Now, the other excuse is, but I like living here. You guys who live in like New York, you guys who live in Los Angeles, my God, what the San Francisco, my God, what are you doing? Do you understand how much taxes you're paying? But I like living in Los Angeles. All right, here's the deal. If you live in a high taxed region, or a high cost of living region, okay, either one of those things, okay, and you decide to stay there despite the high taxes or high cost of living, then when I ask you how much you love, not like, love living in that city, your answer on a scale from 1 to 10 better be at least an 8 or higher. So if you say, but I like living in Los Angeles, okay, fine. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love living in Los Angeles? In Los Angeles specifically. If you're like, well, I like it, that's not an 8. That's not a 9 or a 10. You need to move. Now, if you say, holy shit, I love Los Angeles. It's the greatest place on earth. I love it here. My heart is here. I'm so happy here. Then, okay, you could make the argument that maybe the taxes are worth it. Okay, I wouldn't fucking do it, but that's me. The taxes are worth it to stay there. But if that's not your response, and usually in most cases it isn't, when I talk to guys about this, they're like, move. It's the best thing you can do for your long-term income. Move somewhere where you're taxed less.